Attributivos or attributives are the second class of word that we're going to look at, and these are words that describe. If there's anything that you take away from this video, it's that. Attributives describe. Now, they also attribute a state or an action to a noun or substantive. Now, in the last video, we learned that substantives are nouns or pronouns, and basically they're who or what we talk about in sentences. Attributives are the words that describe substantives. So which of these words, or which parts of speech, describe? Adjetivos, verbos, and adverbios. These are the three parts of speech that make up the class or category of word called attributives. Let's look at this example. Marcos es alto. It's a simple sentence. Marcos is tall. Who are we talking about? Marcos. What about him? He's tall. So these are the questions that you should ask yourself when you see a sentence. Who are we talking about and what about it? Marcos is a substantive because that's who we're talking about. And what about him? Attributive, tall. In this example, ¿Qué enferma está María? Who are we talking about? We're talking about Maria. And what about her? She's sick. ¿Qué enferma está María? How sick is Maria? Now the substantive is who we're talking about, so that's Maria. And the attributive is the description of Maria, and that's sick. Now verbs are a little bit less obvious because they don't necessarily describe the person or thing, the noun, but they describe the state of being that the noun or substantive is in. So here's an example. Ana corre. We're not really describing Ana, we're simply describing what she's doing. So we're talking about Ana, and what about her? She's running. Substantive, Ana. Atributivo, corre. Or in this example, mis padres van a comer. Sustantivo es mis padres. And the attributivo is van a comer. Who are we talking about? My parents. What about them? They're in the state of going to eat. So that's the description. Adverbs don't describe nouns or pronouns. They just give attributes to verbs or adjectives instead of nouns. So, look at this example. Carlos es muy simpático. Who are we talking about? Carlos. What describes him? Simpático. Muy simpático is what we call a secondary attributive. It describes the adjective. So, the thing that we're talking about, or the person we're talking about, the substantive is Carlos. The attribute that we assign to him is nice, simpático. And then the degree of nice is the secondary attribute, or secondary attributive, and that's muy. So, the recap. Attributivos describe. They can be either essential or non-essential, and I'll go over that in a different video. But this category of word is made up of adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. Adjectives describe nouns or pronouns. Verbs attribute a state or action to a noun or pronoun, and adverbs describe verbs or adjectives. And that's it.